when it comes to business, you have your LLC. It is something when you go into these places that might be a little intimidating, to
Hmm.
you. Just know that you have a paper that qualifies you to be there and for them to tell you how to grow your business. If you have an LLC or you signed up with the state, you got your paper that's saying, like, hey, it's like your passport. Tell me what you know. Tell me how to grow my business. Um,
Right.
Whatever else. Um, I also think that, I had my two stories. I'm trying to think of my two stories. I forgot them now. I had two stories. Anyway, do you have any other questions? I'll probably think about them and come back around to it.
Yeah. No, I'm happy that we did have this conversation because a lot of people I know feel like they probably don't deserve to be in a room or to be asking for help for certain people. And then I know it's other people that's like, no, I don't care what you say, I deserve to be here. And they already come with the innate, it is my responsibility to be here to grow myself. So it's always good to have um both sides of like those type of people. I know that once I get into a room, you're not gonna walk over me. It's just getting into the room that you intimidate yourself out of. You know what I mean? And so
I do.
it's just very encouraging to hear, how you went through the process and steps to getting help from different people, or even how, God equipped you to be able to help different people by putting you in a position like to work with a state agency since you were 16. Like that's a that's like a long time, you know what I mean? That is a walking wealth of information, especially about business, because a lot of things. I went to qualify for the grant last year, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna lose out on some money because I don't have things in place. I didn't have I this will be my first year filing taxes for my business. Um, they don't tell you how much money to save for taxes. Uh,
Mhm.
Even if you have to do taxes because you made this much or that much amount of money, like just keeping track of these things. These are things that I should have been keeping track of for my actual life. You know what I mean? I should know how much I spend every month. I should have a budget. I should know my credit score. I should know all those things. But if those things weren't taught, for you to know how to manage finances for your life, for some people that open a business, it's just
Oh, you muted yourself. I can't hear you. For those people that open up a business, still can't hear you. I don't know why. I don't know why. Heck, you're not muted, but I can't hear you.
oh, can you hear me now?
Yes,
I
I
had
can
a
hear you now.
okay. I had a phone call coming in, so
Okay.
I
Yeah.
had to turn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just saying that having having like a business, some people just roll that over from their personal finance perspective. Most people um in my family were just like we're gonna live, paycheck to paycheck, or we my like my dad always had like a pension, so he knew that he was gonna have money every month. You know what I mean? And so
Mm-hmm.
uh he knew about like credit. He got loans for housing and things like that. But he was doing that like in his younger days. So he didn't really teach me how to do it. You know what I mean? Like thankfully, like we own our house with no money. We didn't get a
Mm-hmm.
loan to get our house. You know what I mean? So these things, like your children need to be there for. If you have children, you need to be explaining the process to people. Or even if you just keep a journal. I know that from talking to people, like my husband talking to people, me talking to people, we learn so many different things. And it just really is like who you're around, who you talk to, that like can save you. It can definitely shorten your learning curve. Um, if you need to pay for something, just pay for it. I don't want to miss out on things in business because I'm intimidated or because I'm nervous. Um, it That'll just hold you back, paralyze you. Don't be paralyzed with fear.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And there probably are things that you're not even aware of that's kind of paralyzing you. Something that happened
Right.
back in second grade. Somebody
Right.
called you out on something. Somebody laughed at you, for something.
Hmm.
Um, and you just don't know, that you are blocking yourself,
Right.
from success. And it's good to get over those things. I was afraid. I was afraid of success in my early days. Actually, I was
Yeah.
afraid of success. And I don't, and anybody that I come in contact with just spills out, you know, to help them. If I know that they're in business, I know I had to kind of curtail that because everybody does not want to be in business. But it's so
Hmm.
passionate. It's something that I'm really passionate about. And I can see it from top to bottom, how it all should, formulate up for someone who has a business idea. And I always say the idea is the easiest part.
And
It's
it
a
literally
wonderful idea.
is.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Great
But
idea.
now, yeah,
It's the tough
excellent
part.
idea. Let's move on it. Do it, you know. But you're talking about, the LLC, the S Corp, um, QuickBooks,
Bank
how to keep your
account,
books together, bank account, what else?
tax, tax,
Taxes.
materials, supplies,
Yeah.
location, licensing
Yep.
fees,
Yep. Yep.
social media,
Yep.
marketing,
Yep.
advertising,
Yep.
so many things, so many different hats that you have to wear. And then if you're growing, you're gonna need help. And then if you get help, you gotta have insurance. You have insurance for the people in case they get hurt. You gotta pay retirement. You
Employment
gotta think
tax.
about, yeah, employment tax, retirement. Uh, is this gonna be sustainable?
Mhm.
All of that. I was just
1099 forms as a
right.
C form, Schedule C forms, pay yourself form, all that stuff. The idea is the easy part, and that really makes people be like, forget it. I'll just do it under the table.
Right.
I ain't gonna do all that. But if you really are sincere and want to grow, then you got to take these steps and form this foundation. And I always tell people, check with your local small business office, check with your state small business office,
Hmm.
how to help you grow. Don't be afraid to reach out to those people. I don't care if you don't know nothing. I don't care. Tell
Right.
them I'm new to business and I need help. There's no um, there's no fear in saying that you don't know. I
Right.
have a master's degree in business. There's stuff I still don't know. But what I do know, I like to share. And I'll get back
Hmm.
to saying there's a lot of people that have an idea. They'll come to me because they know I like business stuff. And I'll tell them things, oh, you need this and that. And I try to sprinkle, information to them because I know it is a lot.
Right.
But I also know that everybody's not built up for business and everybody doesn't want to own a business. Even though I see the potential in them having a business for whatever they're doing or whatever their hobby is or something like
Right.
that, that doesn't
Yep.
mean that they want a business. And I had to learn that the hard way. I got some sharp criticism, um, you know, and some salt, salt, this is kind of like an old term, but
They threw
some
salt on
shade,
you. They
some
threw some
shade.
shade. Yeah, the salt, the shade, and everything else that is blocking. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's true. Everybody doesn't want to do a business, and that's not what their thing is. That's your
Yeah.
thing. That's your
And
meaning, general, your you.
right.
That's not my thing. They got other things they want to do in their life. They don't want to do business. So I had to learn. I had to swallow that jagged peel, so to speak, and to understand that that's not what everybody wants to do. But I did learn for those that, to create a business, for people to come to me to pay me for the knowledge that I know. Okay. So that is the way I had to turn it around and say, only share the information, not only, but for the people that want to know how to get in business and do business, do social media and yada, yada,
Hmm.
yada, then I have a business and a service to provide to them for payment,
Right.
in order to get that information out. Now, I definitely give away free information. Absolutely, because I enjoy it. It's just like breathing to me, you know.
Right.
But I try to share what I know. I used to work in a recovery center, and they were saying, one of the counselors was saying, you got to give it away to keep it.
Hmm.
And that means that the information that you have to tell it out in order to keep it fresh in your mind, what you know, or what way
Okay.
you feel about something. You got to give it away to keep it. And that's what I do. And I'm acquiring information on the daily basis. And it's not too
Hmm.
much for me. It's not overwhelming to me. It's not something, of course I need to turn down the volume. I take days out of my week to turn down the volume, turn down the social media, not, do something else besides the business thing, because it can consume you. So
Yeah,
you
it
need that
definitely
balance.
can.
You definitely need that balance.
Especially like when you think about things like being present. I was just having a conversation last night about being present on social media for business purposes rather than personal purposes. Because a lot, I was talking to them and they said that they use social media for personal reasons. I was using my social media for personal reasons too. But what changes when I said, this is going to be my business account and I'm going to use this for business? Now I very rarely do post on social media for my personal account unless I'm using it to advertise another business that I'm doing. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's all about balance, like you said. It's all about like time management. That's a huge thing.
That's a big
Um,
one.
we use block schedules here at my
Oh.
house. So I have a chart of things I want to do from like 6:30 to 9:30. Get up, pray, have some quiet time, do a morning routine. Um, my kids normally wake up at 8:30, and they have their own like schedule. Uh, 8:30 to 9:30, and then we start schoolwork on from like 10 to 1, and then we
Hmm.
do errands outside the house from like 1 to 4. And it's just like in the summertime it gets crazy because they're like, it's so warm outside. Let's go outside and play, you know. But it always is just about, trying to find a balance, trying to get things in order in life, especially in business, having small children, and uh, it's easy to bake cakes and cookies and stuff with them in the house now. At first, they used to like, I would tell people, I got a signature at the back of your cake because my one son, and I would never see it until the cake was like gone. It would always be a little fingerprint on the back of the cake, but he only okay, but he would only do it when I made my friend, she's like my church
Yeah.
sister. She would be like, Sonny left his signature mark. And I would feel so bad. I would be like, I don't know when he does it or how,
Oh,
but every
it's a little
time,
finger.
just a little fingerprint. And it was just one. It's not like he took a whole chunk out of the cake. It was just like
Yeah.
one little fingerprint on the back of
Uh-huh.
the cake. And I would be like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to succeed cake decorator because I have children. But yeah, it's just times it's times and
Yeah.
seasons for every part of business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now they can help me. They can help me get ingredients out of the refrigerator. They can help
Hmm.
me. They practice making their own treat with piping. I'm sure my
Nice.
daughter's gonna be piping cupcakes soon, and
Hey.
she's only like 6 years old.
Oh
Um,
wow.
but yeah, you getting them involved in the business rather than sit down, go do that. Don't be in front of something that's not, good for you. Just incorporating them. I made
Mm-hmm.
so many chocolate covered strawberries this weekend. And at the
Oh
end
yeah.
of it, they're like, "You want chocolate covered strawberries too?" And I'm like, you might
Oh
have to learn
no.
how to dip your own chocolate covered strawberries, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
it just shows like they want things too. You just got to
Yeah.
be mindful of time and considerate, of all of those things, 'cause
Mm-hmm.
it's all for the betterment of of the business. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And, I commend you for being a mom, a family lady, a person that has a family, and doing business because I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy.
especially
But you
with
seem to
bookkeeping.
found a rhythm. Ah,
I said especially with bookkeeping. That is
yeah.
stressful.
Well, and this is another thing. Don't be afraid to hire the help that you need. We can't
Right.
do it all.
Right.
We just
True.
can't.
This is true.
I don't care if you want to be a superwoman, go for it.
I was reading,
But
I was just reading this book, and he said, if you don't have an assistant, you are an assistant. I said,
oh wow.
the shade, the shade of your truth, sir. He was telling the whole truth.
Point. Got
I'm
a
an
point.
assistant to about four people in my life. They have a
Yep.
personal assistant, they have a chef, they have a
Yep.
laundry person. He was just like, delegate some of those tasks, even if it's like cleaning your house. Just have somebody come once a week and clean up for you. It'll free your
Yep.
mind to do more in your business and all kinds of stuff. I'm like,
Yep.
who do you think you are telling me the truth like that? I know I needed that, but
A peace of mind is better than any amount of money in the bank. A peace of mind. It frees up your time so you can do the things that you want to do. Okay.
right.
I mean, I don't know, anybody besides my mother who loves to clean from top to bottom, who loves to do lot, those things that people kind of scour away from. She
Hmm.
loves to do those things. I have no problem. It's kind of like breathing for her. Um,
Yeah.
but there's people in line to do what you need them to do. Either it's bookkeeping, it's social media, it's
Right.
cleaning up every, a week and a half, every 2 weeks, the home. It is going grocery shopping for you. I know I use Instacart, probably way too much. Use Instacart, to get,
Yeah.
bring me stuff. If I'm in the middle of, making something, some product, oh darn, I didn't do my inventory this time. I ran out of something. Instacart, bring it to me, Yeah, you're paying for it. You're paying for the convenience of things. But guess
Hmm.
what? You got your time. You don't have to
They're,
get, jump
they
in the car and just.
they deliver it like right to your door.
Yes.
I
Yes.
promise you. I never heard of this before. Cause I was
Instacart. Yeah.
the way it's looking outside, I don't even want to see it. I mean, like if you, it's so much snow out there, like ridiculous amounts of snow.
Yeah,
Like,
you're in Michigan, so I know you get away more than we do. We were supposed to get slammed with 4 to 8. I don't think we made it that high, but still, I got somebody coming to shovel my driveway today,
I do,
after 3.
I do
So,
too.
hey, I mean, it frees you up for the things that you want to do, and
Right.
that's in my, shameless plug here. In my other business, Want Day Digital Marketing, I free up, I save people time and stress, and I do the thing for them. I do the social media for them. I do the Zoom, back end Zoom preparation for them. I create flyers, I create, um, do one on one coaching and things like that. So, the frustration of people. Everybody doesn't like technology. They hate it.
Right.
But I cater to the over 40 crowd mostly
Mhm.
because technology from 40 on up, maybe at 40, but 45, 50, they didn't really grow up with technology. A lot of them. And if they did, they didn't pay it. It wasn't a big thing like it is today. Today, businesses mostly are remote workers because of the situation we're in this time and space. So they
Mhm.
had to do those hard things. They had to learn the computer. They had to learn apps. They had to learn Zoom. They had to learn this. Even churches had to learn how to go on Facebook Live, how to do recording and uploads. And,
Mhm.
I just got a new phone. This is the S20. And
Yeah.
guess what? My memory, even though this has a souped up memory, I've exhausted my memory because I do podcasts, because I do
Right.
flyers, because I do this and that and the other, and I store it here. I haven't uploaded it to a thumb drive, or I haven't uploaded it all to the cloud. And that's speaking quote unquote Greek to some people. What is a cloud? What is this? How
What
do
is
you
the
upload?
cloud?
So I
That's
did a
definitely
video.
true.
Yeah, I did a video on how to do those kinds of things, how to get pictures off your phone, or how to upload it to a thumb drive, to the cloud, even to your email. Send
Right.
yourself the pictures in email or whatever, or store it on your email in your drive.
Mhm.
So there's just a number of ways. Those are just a few things that I do. But I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but anyway, that's all I
It's
got.
de- no, it's definitely a market for anyone who wants to be in business because it's so many layers to business. Like this lady was saying about coaching, she was saying she wanted to someone said they wanted to be a coach, and she's like, well, what industry? Because you can be a coach in for nursing, you can be a coach for confectionery, for pastry, even if we just look at food service. Okay, you want to do the food service industry. All right, now that you got it established, you want to do the food service industry. Are you catering? Are you doing private dinners? Are you catering for crowds over 50,000 people? Like, I don't know, like the inauguration that just happened, somebody cooked
Mhm,
all that food, somebody made all the desserts, somebody did the drinks, the decorations. Um,
mhm.
Even if it's laying out a red carpet on the White House steps, I don't know, whatever. They had to get an individual to do that. That's completely different industries. You know what I mean? So yeah,
And it
business
wasn't just done
is a
that
lot.
day. There's a
Right.
planning, and there was a system in place in order to make sure that all that came, showed up and was on point that day.
And somebody had to have done it either before or they knew that they were capable of doing it, or else they wouldn't have gotten hired to do it. You know what I mean? So it's just all those. And then when you're doing small business, like you don't realize when you're seeing commercials for things, like say
Hmm.
for what's the next big thing? Like Easter or Mother's Day. I'm sure Easter stuff was starting to show up in December.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
like people have their like calendars planned out for the next 2 years already, and they're like, in 2 years we want to be here, in 3 years we want to be here. I feel like as a small business person, you're like, some people are like, I made it through this month, I made it through this last like 2 weeks, I don't know what's coming next. But you just gotta think about, these things. I'm in a home bakers group, and they're like, all right, we made it through the weekend, like next thing we gotta start putting out things for is Easter, or the next thing, the next holiday that people are gonna celebrate. Um,
Hmm.
it's just I'm in a place that I want to be like, I don't really want to celebrate these things anymore. So I'm just gonna make my own my own lane because they're super oversaturated markets. I know that they won't have like the same creativity, that I have for each one, but it's just like, man, we're all gonna do the same thing and all be in different parts of the world, and we're all gonna have completely different experiences. Some people were saying like their sales for last weekend were like super down. Like I sold one thing. Then other people are like, I sold like 8 dozen, 8 to 12 dozen, just cookies alone. And then some people are like, man, I can't stop getting people to call me. You know what I mean? Especially those people that waited to like the last minute. They're like the night before people.
Last minute people.
the
That's
night
what I tell
before,
you. It was crazy.
man.
The last minute calls. Even after you sold out, people were still like, do you have any left?
Yeah. Do you have it? Do you have it? I just completely forgot. Uh, I heard it said once before. Man, I think it's when we did the last interview a couple weeks ago with JJ Sweet Treat. She said, "You just so happen to not remember that your child's birthday was coming. It's like once a year you wait, you wait to the last minute. You forgot your child's whole birthday." But yeah,
Yeah,
people
well,
people are busy and they don't expect
yeah.
that we're busy because they just see the finished product. They don't see the time or the effort it took to make
Mhm.
it. Those 10-tier cakes, even something small.
Hmm. It still takes time. But the
Right,
thing about it is, you want people to come back. You want people to seek you out for, you're muted again. You want people to seek you out for what your specialty is. And I know that when you have a product, it's best to have corporate accounts. It's best to have corporate accounts because
right,
that is every week I know that I'm going to have to make a dozen, 2 dozen this. Oh, every month I'm going to have to make this amount for this order. So in order
right,
to have that corporate accounts, corporate meaning at a store, at a bakery, at a boutique, at a business, that provides food for their employees or what have you.
right.
That way you can keep it going
And have a
month by
consistent.
month, year by year. If you still get that contract, you have a steady, you know what your income is going to be, your
Right,
revenue and things, your profits is going to be off that. Now, the one offs, the cakes and things like that. And that's where this LLC is so important. So you can keep that money coming in month by month, in order to sustain your business. You can kind of count on,
right.
this money coming in for this. If I give them these products, they're going to pay me this. And it might not be right there immediate. It might be net 30, meaning they can pay that invoice that you give them. Oh, yeah. There's an invoice that you need to provide your clients,
Yeah.
and there is a receipt that you need to provide your clients. It's not just, oh, yeah, they're just going to pick it up and, oh, yeah, forget about it. But this is where the money resides. Where the money resides. Where the money resides. Where the money resides. Where the money resides.
That makes complete sense that that is where the money resides. I had a company uh from we have a college. It's like a college town where I live, and
Okay.
the lady, I had just got my LLC, and she said, Taylor, we want you to make about 6 dozen cookies, but we wanted to know if you had an EIN number because we wanted you to be able to get paid through the college as like a tax write off for them. And I was like, oh, yes, I do. I just got that. Thank you very much. Here,
Absolutely.
here it is. You know what I mean? And so it just
Absolutely.
felt good because you will be able to get different contracts based on what you have already set up. It will seem like more professional. Like, yes, I do have these things, or even like something simple like a letterhead, thank you cards. I always say, certain things when people place orders, um, even if how to cut a cake, all kinds of things you can it just helps you. Hello, this has been another episode of Tamala and Taylor's Treat Talk Tuesday. We're so happy that you guys decided to come by, and we thank you for all of your support. Have a blessed week. We can be found at Taylor Tamala Treat Talk Tuesday on Instagram. And also, if you would like to email us to be on our podcast, we can be reached at treattalktuesday@gmail.com.